Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I am ready to see who starts off this run with Michael frickin' Jordan. Are we worried about the All-Stars, by the way? Doesn't make too much of a difference to me, since neither of us are really attached to our teams right now. That is the question. That is the question. Can we change our lineup? We're going to keep them automated on both sides. So, for example, neither of us are allowed to put the worst possible players in. Especially, too, because then if there's an injury, it leads to a lot of customizing. All right. Into March. 20 and 41 for Chat's Clippers. How do we look here? The Clippers up to 20th. The Chicago Bulls currently dead last. Could it be with 31 losses in a row? Holy hell. Now that's how you tank, chat. That's how you tank. 31 losses in a row for the Chicago Bulls. We want to bring Michael Jordan home. I will lose the lottery. Karma will get me. It will. Let's wrap up as you guys absolutely kick the shit out of me on March 10th. What will those final standings look like? That's not tanking. That's a billionaire summary. Well done, Endo Mills. Oh, no, you get Olajuwon instead. Yeah, as long as you end up in the top 2, you're good to go in this draft. League MVP, Magic Johnson. His age 24 season. Jesus Christ. Magic Johnson wins League MVP in 1984. Your Rookie of the Year, Houston's Ralph Sampson. Sixth Man of the Year, Boston's Kevin McHale, who looks like Frankenberry. Look at his fucking face. He fucking looks like Frankenberry. Oh my god. Hold on. Hold on a goddamn, just a gosh darn second. Fucking A, Kevin. What did they do to my boy? Fucking legend, Kevin McHale. What the hell did they do to him? This is some bullshit. Like, seriously? What did they do to my boy? Oh, God, Kevin. He's like a mix of Frankenberry and Count Chocula at the same time. Holy shit. Oh, Kevin. You poor, poor man. The original Lurch. Tree Rollins wins Defensive Player of the Year for the Atlanta Hawks. Most Improved, LaSalle Thompson of the Kansas City Kings at the time. Coach of the Year, Casey Jones. Rest in peace, Casey Jones. Executive of the Year, Jaden Woods. So I'm guessing the Celtics did very well. First team All-NBA is Magic, Isaiah, Larry Bird, Julius Erving, and Moses Malone. Damn. 27-year-old Larry Bird, too. The all-offensive team was Magic, Paul Pressey, Larry Bird, Bobby Jones, and Tree Rollins. And the all-rookie team, Ralph Sampson, Darrell Walker, Ennis Whatley, Clyde Drexler was 21. 21 going on 47. And Jeff Malone. So the playoffs, you got the Lakers and the Warriors. So the Warriors did make the playoffs for you guys, so that's unfortunate. It will be a lesser draft pick from them. Phoenix and Denver, Portland, San Antonio, Utah, and Dallas. In the East, it is Boston and Atlanta, Milwaukee and the New York Knicks, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Detroit, and Cleveland. The other matchup there. But the important thing right now, let's look at the final standings. The Celtics, the best team in the league. The worst. The Chicago Bulls will have the top odds in the lottery with just 12 wins. The Clippers finish 19th as somehow the Bullets sink like a stone. Wow. Got the Rockets, the Pacers, but indeed the Chicago Bulls able to tank their way to hopefully either Michael Jordan or Mr. Olajuwon. Look at a pinned photo of Kevin McHale. That makes sense. Oh, I know. He's he looks like Paul McCartney if you stretched him out. It's amazing. All right. Do we care too much about the stats for our season? Because really, this first season was about simming and trying to get rid of as many original roster players as we could. I think we get to the main event. We get to the draft. Let's see how the first round of the playoffs pan out as the Lakers and Suns advance, as do the Jazz and the Blazers. We got Boston against New York, Detroit against Philadelphia. Beautiful. Beautiful. You don't even need Jordan. Just trade the pick. Heading to the conference final. Celtics and Sixers, Lakers and Trailblazers. It's gonna be Magic versus Bird in the final. It's gonna be. Well, that's how you know it's a video game. The Sixers actually beat the Celtics on something. I wonder if the Sixers dropped confetti before the game is actually over. Well, that's an easy championship victory for Magic Johnson and the LA Lakers. Yep, they win it in 6 games. They win it in 6 games. Magic Johnson wins Finals MVP as the Lakers are crowned champions in 1984. With that, we get to retirements. Elvin Hayes is gone in season 1. Nate Archibald. George Johnson. Sam Williams. Staff retirements. Jack Gilbert. Bye, Jack. Hall of Fame inductees. Elvin Hayes. Elvin Hayes says goodbye. So, here's the first thing. Shout out to free throws being a thing. The Utah Jazz have changed their uniforms, as have the Pacers. You guys now have the opportunity to say, no, we will not move to Los Angeles. Fuck you, our racist owner, Donald Sterling. We are going to stay in San Diego. You have that opportunity. Do you want to go to LA or stay in San Diego, chat? The choice is yours. The choice is yours. Will you tell Donald Sterling to fuck off? We are not going to play second fiddle to the Lakers. We are going to be the gems of San Diego, because Lord knows the Clippers aren't going to do it. Or the Chargers aren't going to do it. I mean, the Clippers aren't going to do it either, but you get my point. It is unanimous. It is pretty much unanimous. As the Clippers will be staying in San Diego, we are going to veto that change. The San Diego Clippers live on. What do we got for the league meetings? Change time to the offense given to advance the ball up to 8 seconds. Trade deadline, not a week later. Okay, so the only change in the rule is the clear path foul. Okay. It's time to start off this streamer versus chat 1983 era NBA 2K24 with the draft lottery. The Jordan draft. The Bulls will have the top odds. Or will we? I forgot that's what the setup was this year. It's the Bulls and the Rockets. A coin toss. Winner gets Jordan. Loser gets Olajuwon. I mean, I can't lose. If anything, I'm happier. I'm guaranteed top 2. I just didn't know they implemented the coin flip this year. I feel fucking great. Even if I lose the coin toss, man, I get fucking Hakeem Olajuwon or Michael Jordan. Fuck. Or Charles Barkley if they added him, but I don't think so. Come on. Fuck you. I knew it. The Rockets have the #1 pick in the 1984 draft. You knew it was coming. Come on. Of course I was going to lose a coin toss after winning 10 games. Is what it is. Is what it is. The Blazers have the 3rd pick. The Sixers have the 6th pick. Via San Diego, you guys have the 7th and 9th, though. 7 and 9's not bad. You could do some damage. Yeah, you guys ended up at the 7th pick. Well, the Rockets have a chance to do something incredibly funny. Given that they already have... Don't you want to pair Ralph Sampson and Olajuwon together? Don't you? I know you do. I know you do. The Rockets are on the clock and they take Michael Jordan. I was a fucking coin toss away. Michael Jordan off to the Rockets, which is tremendous news for me because that means he's in the Western Conference. If I can't have him, at least I don't have to worry about him in the playoffs until the finals. So, at 2, my Chicago Bulls are on the clock. There is no Charles Barkley. That's a shame. They still didn't get the rights to Chuck. But for me, it's pretty obvious. It's Olajuwon. It's not even a choice. Hakeem Olajuwon is the man for my team here. Hakeem, welcome in to the Chicago Bulls. We were so close to getting Michael Jordan like we should have, but it is what it is.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking
It is what it is. EQ, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Portland Trailblazers at 3 select point guard John Stockton. No Reggie Miller, too. Yeah, that's rough. John Stockton on his way to Portland. The Washington Bullets at 4 take point guard Jay Humphries. Surprised it wasn't Kevin Willis. Jay Humphries on his way to Washington. The Kansas City Kings at 5 take Kevin Willis. Muted, what's going on, man? And at 6, the 76ers take Sam Perkins. The Clippers with 2 of the next 3 picks. You guys are on the clock. Will you get a trade offer for the pick? You do. We have to at least look over them. Give up the 7th. Sherman Russell to get Sam Perkins after all. That's not terrible. Again, at best. Now, Sam Perkins was 7th in scoring out of this draft class. Unless Otis Thorpe is there, on paper, you probably can't get somebody better than Sam Perkins. You could trade for... Ooh. I mean, Alton Lister, not Sonny Liston. Alton Lister's not bad, but Truck Robinson is 32, so yeah. But his name is Truck Robinson. You could also use James Donaldson. Wow, so you could trade up to get Jay Humphries, and then also get Ricky Sobers so you could flip. But then again, the argument is, can you get something better for James Donaldson? Kevin Willis was just drafted. You could trade this pick for Cleveland's first rounder in 1988 and Phil Hubbard. You could get Danny Ainge and Quinn Buckner. And 2 useful players, but nobody insane. Defensive Player of the Year, Tree Rollins, in a 2nd next year. You got some options here, man. Larry Drew, 26-year-old point guard, and a 2nd-round pick this year. Darrell Walker's 23, and a Knicks first-rounder, top 10 protected in 86. Jesus. 2 first-round picks from the Lakers, but it's in the 80s. You know they're probably going to be lower picks unless Magic Johnson leaves town. You could get Brad Davis. There was a better offer than that. You could get Ricky Pierce back and Mike O'Koren. 2 first-round picks from the Denver Nuggets, both in the 86 drafts. I don't know what other pick they have, but 2 picks in the 86 draft. And that 86 draft was highlighted by like Jeff Hornacek. It's not an amazing draft. The 88 draft, for the record, since people mentioned it, highlighted by like some Mitch Redmond, Hershey Hawkins, and again, don't know who has their rights in the game. So both of those are kind of rough. Sometimes it glitches and it might be the same pick. Oof. Jerry Sting, Kevin McKenna. It's not a very good one. 86 first rounder, lottery protected for the Rockets, and Dave Corzine. The 14th pick in this draft, and the Spurs first rounder next year, top 3 protected. Now the Spurs were a playoff team this year. Yeah, no Charles Barkley, not even a fake player mimicking him. That San Antonio one's interesting. You drop back 7 picks, but then get their first rounder next year. That's not terrible, but again, they were a playoff team. The Phoenix Suns, who are also a playoff team, offering you 2 first-round picks, both unprotected, 86 and 87. The Sonics offering the same deal, 2 picks in 86, 87. And the Blazers offering their next 2 firsts, 85 and 86. And then Lester Connor, who's 24 and a second-round pick. Damn, there's actually a lot of interesting ones here. A lot. Obviously, Sam Perkins was just selected the pick before you. He is... I mean, he's right up there. He's right up there. So, I mean, you know, you could look to keep that 7th pick. If Otis Thorpe is in the game, which I'm pretty sure he is... He'd probably be the best player left. Jerome Kersey. It is probably worth trading the pick. So in terms of the trade, you got the Perkins trade. The Alton Lister, Truck Robinson. You're probably better off going for Sam Perkins in the same position, let's be honest. And then Truck's a flippable asset, but he's only for 2 stars. So he's not this like crazy flippable asset. There's also the Jay Humphries trade from Washington, which isn't bad at all. Again, 21 years old, already a 73 overall, a 3-star asset. Actually a higher trade value than Sam Perkins, but he's not as developed. And if it's not that, then pretty much you would have to be, you would think, like there's Tree Rollins, but he's 29. I mean, you could trade for him to flip him. It's the same kind of idea with the Larry Drew trade. You'd be flipping him. The other option is to do a pick-heavy trade. So those are pretty much the options then, chat. You could take the deal for Perkins. You could take the deal for Humphries. So again, it's Perkins from the Sixers. You could take the Jay Humphries trade from Washington. There's the Tree Rollins trade to then try to flip him. The Larry Drew trade to maybe do the same thing. Or you go for one of the draft pick heavy trades. Like, okay, 2 teams, you know, multiple teams are offering 2 first-round picks. So we'll see. We'll see what you think. Again, the poll is up. Refresh if it's not popping up for you. And we'll see what you guys elect to do. We'll see what chat and their Clippers team elects to do. So. And yeah, Ripley, that is true. Like, again, for the most part, we only go through trades via trade offers because otherwise it's, okay, flip this guy, flip this guy, flip this guy. It's going to be a pick-heavy trade here. So, in terms of those pick-heavy trades, you have the Blazers offering the 85 and 86 first-rounders. Blazers, of course, they were a playoff team this year too, weren't they? You got Seattle offering the 86 and 87 firsts. You got the Suns offering the 86 and 87 first rounders. You have the Spurs offering the 14th overall pick and their 85 firsts, which is top 3. protected. And then you also have Denver offering 2 first-round picks in 83, apparently. Or in 86, excuse me, not 83. And those were the big trades, because the Lakers one is not worth it. It's the fucking Lakers in the 80s that's always going to be a late pick. So there you go, chat. Where will you trade this 87 option? Draft Thorpe? Okay. Well, here, we'll see what trade this ends up being. And then we'll put it up to a vote of, do you want to take that trade or go for Otis Thorpe then? Because there was a bit of a late push from you guys to say, hey, draft Otis Thorpe. So, yeah, I believe he is in the game. I'm pretty sure he was in the game last year. I'm like 95% sure he was on the board there. All right, so it is going to be that San Antonio deal that people are interested in. So, just to look then. It is the 14th overall pick and the 85 first rounder, top 3 protected from San Antonio for the 7th overall pick. Or you guys can go for someone like Otis Thorpe, who, again, if you look at the list of players here, now the game can be a little bit different, but in real life, Otis Thorpe was top 5 in scoring in this draft class. Trent Outlaw was not. Trent Outlaw was not, because Trent Outlaw is not real. But he is there. There was also Jerome Kersey, but again, so pretty much it is, we're going to run one more poll here. And again, I love this because it ends up being just poll fucking central. It'll be what do? Draft Thorpe or the Spurs trade? What will it be, chat? What will it be? Are you going to draft Otis Thorpe or take that Spurs trade? All-star ceiling for Otis Thorpe. Nobody else is above a starter. So Otis Thorpe is the best player you could get here. Pick 14, you'd be looking at somebody kind of in the middle. A lot of C-level potential guys here for that 14th pick. But then you get a pick next year as well. So, what will it be? It's a close vote right now. Sam Bowie, unfortunately, is not in the game, I believe. And if he is, his overall is terrible. So, again, unfortunately, there are some players, they just don't have the rights to put them into the game. It's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. So, it is dead. Even if it finishes on a tie, we go to a coin toss. It is close, but Otis Thorpe wins out. And Thorpe is the newest member of chat's San Diego Clippers. Otis Thorpe with the 7th overall pick. And again, you guys have the 9th overall pick coming up. Are all these real players? Some of them are generated. Again, they don't have the rights to the full class. The Atlanta Hawks at 8 take power forward Dan Delk. So that leaves you guys with the 9th pick. You already saw there's not much left available. Unfortunately, nobody wants the pick, so you have to make it. I mean, this Trent Outlaw guy is probably the best option. But yeah, even then it's not that great. Again, you do have someone who is at least real, like Jerome Kersey, who you actually didn't scout out that much. Kersey finished 8th in scoring in this draft. He is the highest scoring real player left. And yeah, if we were to sort by listed potential, it has Mitch Henderson at a B+. Mitch Henderson being a generated player who has a D+ overall, it says. So yeah, going by a potential might not be great. Trent Outlaw is probably your best bet then. If you care about listed potential, this generated dude, Trent Outlaw, is probably the best option. I did forget to turn down the generated draft class quality because we want the real players to stand out. I do think it's a fairly obvious one. It's either Outlaw or Kersey. And we'll leave it up to a vote because, again, you can take a computer-generated guy. There's no harm in that. Or you can take the the IRL best player remaining from this draft in the form of Jerome Kersey. So, tight spot. What's going on, man? How are you? How are you? So, we'll see what chat goes with. Looks like it's going to be Outlaw. There are some votes for Kersey. All right, some late votes for Kersey. We'll give it a second. Jerome's making a late comeback. Tight spot. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Does look like Trent Outlaw will be the guy. No shame in the AI generated game. Yeah. At least it didn't generate a fucking second Michael Jordan, basically. So. It is close, but it does look like Outlaw is going to win this one. It's looking like it. Kersey's hanging in there within 10 votes, but I don't think it'll be enough of a pushback here. Yeah, he can't make up the ground. Trent Outlaw is the pick at 9th overall for your San Diego Clippers. And with that, we advance to the next user pick. The Bulls are on the clock. Pick number 30. Oh, God, and I got to make it, too. Gotta make it, too. Fuck. I don't fucking know. Who the hell was good? Who the hell was even good at this point? Alvin Robertson's not in the game, is he? I don't see a Vern, Fleming, Humphreys. Michael Cage isn't there. At this point, it doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Let's go for, who has the highest ranking left, apparently? Harold Rose. Why not, Harold? Come on down. Based on team needs. We fucking need everything right now. We are off to the second round. And nobody else has picks. That's it. Because that was our second round pick. Again, there aren't as many teams in this era. So that is it for the 1984 draft. Michael Jordan, the newest member of the Houston Rockets. I settle for Akeem Olajuwon. Oh no. And again, chat lands Otis Thorpe at a 76 and 77 overall, Trent Outlaw. That guy looks like he'll end up being pretty decent for you. You had Willis at a 76, Perkins at a 76 too. So I mean, the Thorpe trade would have been pretty consistent. Yeah, so there you go. That is the draft. Who the hell did I get stuck with? We took Rose, who was a 70, which is what it is. Fair enough. So really quickly, before I forget, it's not in the tuning sliders, right? I think it's in the general? I forget where the... I don't know if it's just dropping the draft class quality. You know what? We'll be fine with people like Outlaw in the draft because it's kind of like he ended up being like a Barkley, basically. So it is what it is. Rookie signing. Obviously, I'm going to sign Olajuwon. How's Harold Rose looking? C+? That's not too bad. I'm going to sign Harold Rose. For you guys, obviously Thorpe and Outlaw, you're both signing them. I mean, you're signing both of them. That's not even a question. Sid, what's going on, my man? How are you? So that was quick and easy. In terms of player options, nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing. Qualifying offers. All right, we do have, for me, I got Byron Gill, who's a 67 with a D+ potential. Byron, we're going to let you go. Sid, we are in the first year. Yes, we just got through the first draft. For the Clippers, you have 22-year-old Adrian Burke, who's a C+ potential. And then Tyler Lamb, who's a D+. You might as well bring back Burke because of his age. And he's dirt cheap, but yeah, Tyler Lamb's never going to be anything. So, although there's a lot of drop boths, I'd personally bring back Burke to fill up a roster spot, but if you want to drop both, I'm okay with it. We'll see if we have to throw it to a poll. I mean, I don't think it's a major enough decision to worry about it. I mean, especially, too, again, neither of our teams can go crazy in free agency. We got limitations on that, too, to keep this a challenge. So, Keep his cool hair. I mean, again, you guys need somebody to play, too. So, keep him, drop Lamb. I think you guys are good. I'm going to drop Gill. We're all right. All right. Free agency. Now, here's the situation that we want to think about, right? We're both still trying to be bad. In terms of draft picks for the Clippers, I can't currently look at them. That's unfortunate. Can I look at them, please? Post trade. We got the future draft pick screen. Front office, trades, future draft pick. So for you guys, you have 1 first rounder in 1985, nothing in the 86 draft, and then 2 firsts in 87. I have 4 or 5 picks in the 85 drafts, 3 picks in the 86, and 3 first rounders in the 87. Again, remember, you picked the team, not me. So, yeah, holy shit. So it puts you guys in a weird spot. And looking at your current roster, you do still have a very young Terry Cummings at 23. You still have Norm Nixon. Bill Walton's only 31. Donaldson's 26. You could realistically say, do we make a big free agent signing? Or you say, we're going to try to tear it down, look for someone with good potential. But again, you have Nixon at point guard. If you were to sign somebody big, even for the purpose of flipping them, it would make sense to be at shooting guard. Because you have Cummings at forward, Thorpe at power forward, and then the centers. So it would make sense if you were to go for anybody, for it to be a shooting guard, and surprise, surprise, the best player is Jim Paxson. And just for the hell of it, just so you know, it would be a 4-year deal, although I don't believe you have the money for it. Right? I actually don't believe you have the money for Paxson right now, off of cap space. So, if it's not him, I mean, there's fucking nobody. How about Jim Spanarkel? You know, the legend Jim Spanarkel? Yeah, you guys are in a tough spot here. You guys are in a tough spot in terms of anybody being available, really. Let me know. I mean, you could go for, like, can you even sign TR Dunn? You guys don't have the cap space to sign anybody right now. You don't have the room to sign anybody. So, yeah. And in fairness, neither do I. My cap room is showing up as minus 2.3 million, while you're at 600K because there's a cap hold. So, neither of us will be doing anything in free agency, as it turns out. Neither of us. Shit. At least until we get to this screen. So for the Clippers, looking to renounce the rights to McKinney, who's a 72. That's fine. This dude's 24. C- potential. Tyler Lamb, we know, is terrible. There's Adrian Burke, who you might have to renounce the rights to just because of the cap hold. I don't know how the hell our teams are going to fill out rosters. That is a very good question, having to deal with the cap situation going on in the league right now. I think we're both just going to be dropping everybody at this stage to try and be compliant. Yeah, there's pretty much nothing we can do. So we'll see who goes where. But yeah, for now, there is nothing either of our teams can do at this stage. So that's good to know. Jim Paxson went to the Knicks. Joe Barry Carroll to the Golden State Warriors. David Thompson off to the Bullets. Cartwright to the Jazz. And Bob Lanier to the Bucks as the highest rated players. So, yeah, free agency. There is nothing that either of us can do. We just don't have the cap room. I apparently have 600K in cap space now, but that's it. So, we can just skip ahead to player progression. Wow, big improvement there. +3 for Terry Cummings for you guys. Norm Nixon up to an 85. Bill Walton is declining. Verhoeven got better. Roberson got a little bit better. For the Bulls, Vegetaeus gets a little bit better. Ennis Watley gets a bit better. Man, this is Olajuwon, and that's it. So, yeah, there is some progression there. That's just obviously the off-season tournament, which doesn't mean shit. Skip through that, and we'll be using the 1985 draft class. 1 year in the books already. And obviously, we're going to have to set the stage for what happens for this next draft and this next season for both of our teams.